Hi, this is Bill. So this is one of the important things that I'd like to discuss on business rules is how does business rule process flow run and when do they execute and how do they prioritize? So you could be running multiple business rules, and the behavior of the service side has to be accurate according to your implementation. So in this demo that you'll be seeing in presentation, right? So gives you the hierarchy on when business will run. So from the top left, right, you'll have the query or the system query. So it works like a hierarchy. So this is the top level from the query of the system. Then the next step is basically the database query to the display business rules until it does a database update and finally an async after business rule. So if you scroll up to this article, so you have some rules that you could basically combine from before, after, async, and display and how it behaves. So the before business rule executes logic before a database operation occurs. And the next one, the after business rule executes the logic immediately after a database operation occurs. So meaning once you execute a command after the database occurs, then the business rule will execute. So here is like the execution of your script in the business rule is before the database script happens, right? So the database is at the end. So it could be a before insert, a before update, and this is the opposite, which is after updates or after insert. On the other hand, the async is always after. So it executes, async business rules execute after database operation occurs. So as a best practice, I would say asynchronous is the safest way. So if you're looking to update a database, right, and or getting data from a database, I would say asynchronous should be executed wherever possible. The question is why? Because it's all about reliability. So you are making sure that the backend services are implemented first prior to moving to the next step. So asynchronous advantages is you can execute multiple business rules at the same time, meaning there's no dependency. It's like a web page with multiple widgets that you can execute the result of each widget independently. But then again, it will depend on how you want to manage the data. So the picture here will give you a better picture, right? So if asynchronously you would like to ensure that when you get data from the backend, or it can be in ServiceNow or outside ServiceNow, right? Asynchronously, you ensure that the record is updated correctly and accurately, ensuring integrity of your application. I suggest you try the behavior of the business rules and execute accordingly by testing the script. So let us go to the laboratory. So I created an example here, right, that you get to update the related incidents, right? So when to run it, so if you see, you have the after. So what we did here as an example is after updates. So this is our condition. So after you update the record, right, then what's the action, right? So it's either you do a non-code, non-script action, or you do an advance, right? So in this example, we are demonstrating scripting in ServiceNow, and we have a separate lesson when to use the action and when to use the advance. So let us move forward. So I put some comments for your clarity. So we use the current object and the previous object. So if they're not equal, then I will be executing the script here. So we are creating or initializing an instance of a glide record incident table. Then we are querying the database under the incident table. and this is our conditions. So we are ensuring that we are calling out the same caller, but on a different record. So once this query is sent into a database, it returns with a record and a list of records. So basically, those lists of records will be iterated, and we are basically populating or setting the data on these variables. And finally, we do an update. So let us have a look on the example on how this business rule basically behaves. So you will find that I will be changing the current priority to ensure that the record is basically updated. So now let us go back to all incidents. So let's just navigate here instead. So we go to incidents under the application navigator, right? We go to all open incidents since we are under caller centric. So let's say let's choose another user. So we have Carol. So let's change this to Carol, right? Since we are updating multiple records and using Carol, so let's wait this to be updated. And since our behavior that the priority should be not equal to the previous, so now let us change the impact to medium. And now it's high once we save this. Now, after the database has been updated, the incident database, then it should apply the changes. As you can see that our work notes has been updated correctly and our business rule has executed as expected. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you on my next one. Thank you so much.